Shut up and sit down.
Hey, Richard.
How are you doing there?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Nice
Thanks
weather
for
here.
joining me.
Thank you.
How long have we known each other? Let me take this thing off. We're
yeah,
we're distance apart, right?
Yeah, we're distance apart.
God, it's been like
Shit, easily 5 years I know you.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you had another dog.
Yeah, I had
Luna.
Leica,
Leica.
and
The
about
dog,
5 years here.
right?
Yeah.
And then I think at the time you were living, like you said, out of the van.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
had?
exactly.
And you used to park over there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then Leica passed away, and
Right.
you have another dog here named
Una.
Una.
Yeah, and
And why is it all? I mean, this leads to what you were doing before, I guess, right?
Right.
So, why are you naming your dog something to do with camera
Well,
or light? I
yeah,
guess,
well,
right?
I was an advertising photographer, corporate photographer on the world stage, basically. I had clients in Shanghai, and I would do shoots in Shanghai, in Beijing, Kuala Lumpur for an annual report, you know, for multinational companies.
Right.
So I had Capital One was one of my clients, Philip Morris, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Sunoco.
So you did the photography for that? You
Yeah,
also did
I
a
did the
creative for that as
photography.
well? Or?
And I did the creative in regard to how the image creation was. In other words, my clients were really good. They would send me they'd send me to Shanghai to shoot completely on my own, no art director, do
Really?
whatever you want, you know, and it was really challenging.
Were you in New York then, or were you here?
Actually, I was here and in Richmond, working out of Richmond, Virginia. And then later on, I was working out of New York City.
Okay.
Towards the end.
Where were you born and raised?
I was born in the Bronx in New York and went to school in Manhattan.
Right.
I got a scholarship after that to go to RIT. But
What is that, RIT?
Rochester Institute of Photography,
Okay.
right, or Institute of Technology. I won a portfolio award.
And when did you come out here to Los Angeles?
I came out here in Rodney King's, 1992, I think. I lived bi-coastal. I had a place in Virginia and a place here, and I used to fly back and forth every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because what I was doing, I was selling my Chicago and my Richmond clients on the talent pool of LA. Because the small town tertiary markets don't have a big talent
So
pool.
what kind of talent pool? What are you talking
I was
about?
looking for models to do lifestyle photography and people to act in TV commercials.
So you're becoming an agent?
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much agent. I just needed better talent so my photographs looked better.
Oh, but did you always want to come out here?
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I always wanted to do film, cinema. Okay, either director of photography or direct it later on. And let's face it, where's the best place to do that in the United
Hollywood,
States?
right,
Exactly.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're an independent, you got all the gear here, you got the crew here, you got the sound guys, you got the sets and the makeup and all that stuff.
So when you moved out here for good,
Right.
back in what, 2001, you went back once and you came back again, right? You said?
Yeah. Well, what I did was, I was here from, like I said, Rodney King's day.
Right.
Stayed here to 2001, and I had BBD&O was one of my major clients.
Big
All right,
company,
nice agency, and they were hitting hard times around 2001, so they were losing clients. Everybody was bailing out, so I decided to relocate to Virginia again.
Okay.
So I went back and recuperated, you know, and had a good run to about 2008 when the shit hit the fan, you know, real estate markets. And that's when...
The Lehman debacle, 2007, 2008,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So let's put it this way. In 2007, I made excess of like $270,000 or so, right?
So from there, when did you come back here?
I came back here in 2000. I want to say 2011.
Okay.
January.
So all the while you're just going back and forth.
Yeah. I was. I mean, business was good on the East Coast up until 2008. Okay. So between 2008 and 2011. I spent in New York City trying to pull shit together, and kind of rescue the business. But it was.
So what did you do when you first came out here? When you came back here?
Oh, when I first came here, I did it as a rescue mission. This was in 2011.
Okay.
I had a girlfriend that I was trying to rescue from a terrible addiction.
Okay.
And I had promised her that, that she could go to like Santa Monica College and start her life over, which became a ridiculous farce.
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
that was when you were starting to live over here, right?
Way too young. I feel foolish. I wish her well, but she had a terrible heroin habit, and I was stupid enough to think I could, help her out, and unfortunately, it dragged me down.
Okay.
Into it. Never using it myself, but in that environment, it's a rough environment to be in. Okay. And eventually...
so you broke up with her?
Yeah, broke up with her, freed myself from her.
Let me go back, let me back up a little bit.
Sure.
So when you came back here in 2011.
11. Right.
Did you start living in the car then?
Yeah, because what happened was I entrusted my girlfriend with a lot of money, and I had the rest of it. And she went through and blew all the money. So when we got here, we had so little money. It was,
So how do you, I think people listening to this, right? They can't understand how, from day one, what do you do to start living in a car?
Oh my God.
Did you go to the Toyota dealer and then buy a car? And
No.
Well,
I got it's a Toyota Sienna, actually. Yeah. And if you go online, it's voted one of the best cars to be an urban camper. So you went through the
catalog and figure out which
one's
good?
I had that for photography, all right? Oh. So I bought that because I could take my equipment.
Oh, so you had it in Virginia?
Yeah, I had it in Virginia, and I drove across the country in it. And then when I got here, I realized I was going to have to take all the stuff out of there, put it in storage, so I had room to live in there. Oh. So for the longest time, my addicted girlfriend, my dog, and myself lived in a Sienna. You want to see the real estate, as I nicknamed it? This is a testament to Toyota's longevity. This thing's got 275,000 miles on it. It runs like a top. Best made car on the planet. It's beat up, but it runs great.
Can I go in?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah. You pan it around. That was our living space for many a year, many a night.
There's a bed there?
Mm-hmm. Bed there and a bed where the checkerboard is.
Bed here?
And yeah, so we had one bed for Una and one bed for me, and we swap it around, and it was kitchen, and I've got my pots and pans under the passenger seat there, over there. And
how do you live in it? In the sense that is there a restriction in where you can park?
Oh, yeah. Back then, particularly then, it wasn't like now, because now there's so many people living on the street.
So you were in the parking lot?
Yeah, basically, actually on the street. And the bad part about the street was cars would whiz past in the middle of the night, wake you up. And it was, honest to God, it was so traumatic.
What about like a bathroom situation?
Well, there was a bathroom nearby,
and
that's it. And then there were showers in there. But you're willing to do what you do. I mean, sometimes you wound up washing in a sink or something,
So what, you were living in a house before.
Yeah.
Like you switched to this lifestyle. What was the most difficult thing that you experienced, you remember?
Well, the lack of privacy, okay? The sense of vulnerability, and then the sense of persona non grata. In other words, people don't want you around, all right? And at that time, I was trying to appear, as non-homeless as possible, and I'd take my dog to the park and talk to people, and nobody could figure out that I was homeless. How long can you keep the charade going? So I just eventually, shared that.
Wasn't there any help from the city or the county
so
or anything
difficult
like that?
to navigate that. That's going on 8 years ago, right? I'm still not housed. Now, hopefully, it's going to change.
Okay.
All right. Now, there's about 65,000 people on the street now. Okay. And this project
in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles,
right.
Los Angeles County,
right.
supposedly. That's a lot of people. That's 15,000 more than it was a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, what is your how do you paying for your living expenses?
Well, I get Social Security, which is a minimal. I mean, I used to make more in one day than I make in a whole month now.
So the Social Security that you get isn't enough.
No, it's not enough.
It's not enough. But you can
get by. Okay. But the rent here, if I want to rent a studio apartment, it would take 90% of my check.
I mean, here where we are now,
it's a very nice
for the people that don't understand, we're in West Los Angeles.
Yeah, right? It's $1,000.
Beverly Hills, Century City, Bel Air, Santa Monica, all the most expensive Cheviot Hills here. It's the most expensive area in Los Angeles. Yeah. Or maybe even in the world, actually.
Probably, it's up there.
And right there is a Fox studio. Right.
And then you got Sony.
Hillcrest Country Club right there. Sonic Studios over there. So everything is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Right. One bedroom apartment will go for like $2,000.
Yeah, or $2,200.
$2,200 over here.
Right.
I mean, not really a nice.
No.
So it's quite expensive.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
And in the middle of it, we have this park that we're in, Cheviot Hills, where it's a very expensive land here, right?
Yeah. This is the jewel in the crown of the Parks Department. Right. They maintain this very well, and I got to admit, for the most part, people have been very gracious to me here. I've established a friendship with people that moving out of here in the next day or so, it's kind of heart-wrenching.
So before we get into that, I guess we haven't set up the stage here.
Yeah.
So basically, we met here because I come over here every morning, walking my dog, Stella, and then we developed a friendship because you were in entertainment before, and well, still is. So, and then in March of this year, with COVID, the city, the developer county or city?
Combination city, county set this up. It opened up in April.
Basically, they brought over
about 102 trailers.
102 trailers? Okay, 102 trailers where all the homeless people can actually live in it.
Right, people who are at risk. Right. Living in their vans or living on the street or whatever, because it's difficult to, maintain the proper hygiene and.
But in a sense, it's like quarantine people here.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Holding.
But also in return, you get all these benefits, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it was a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Right? So at the time when you moved in here, I mean, you were selected.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of other people wanted to get involved or get inside here.
Right.
And to live. So it's been about 7 months now?
Oh, actually 5.5.
Is it 5.5?
Yeah,
okay.
5.5.
So 5.5 months, and then, I mean, the lifestyle is what? Is okay?
Yeah, it's very nice.
So there's a bathroom inside?
Oh yeah, bathroom, showers. Small little trailer. It's like
kitchen.
Little microwave and stuff like that. Right. It's like being in a back lot on Sony's back lot in your own trailer, basically.
Right. So now today is October 14th.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I heard you guys now have to move out of here, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
This trailer right now is in the parking lot.
Right.
Of the Cheviot Hill.
Yeah, a very elegant neighborhood for a trailer.
So when you moved in here.
Right. May 1st.
May 1st.
Right.
Did they tell you what's going to happen at the end?
No, they had no idea.
Basically, just come on in and and we'll let you stay as long as we can.
Right.
Is that what the promise was, basically?
Right.
Okay.
And about maybe a month ago, I got this notice. We are closing down October 20th.
20th, okay.
Yeah. And
reason being?
Reason being, I guess was funding, but I also heard that there were a couple of political pressure in the neighborhood, about, pushing out this undesirable thing. Okay. Now,
by the neighborhood people.
Yeah, by the neighborhood.
Wealthy people.
The homeowners association or whatever. Wow. And I can understand that it's inconvenient to have your parking lot taken away, but you got to do a triage. What's more important, getting people off the street or your parking? So.
Well, the thing is, most of the time, these parking lot are not used.
Exactly, really. Or they're only filled up, on certain
on
days.
The weekends.
Right,
but at
exactly.
the same time, right now with COVID, not many people are here on the weekends
Precisely.
anyway.
So it was a good fit. Nobody was really playing sports. So.
Okay.
But I'm very grateful for it because it gave me respite from the van. It's a very small environment, and it's tough on your soul to be in that.
So, I mean, there are other locations of these, right?
Yeah, there was, as far as I know, there was like one more here over on the west side, and then there was one in Dockweiler Beach, and now where I'm moving tomorrow.
So you're moving to another location?
To another location in downtown LA.
Okay.
Well, more like in Griffith Park location, where here it's quite nice. So.
Oh, is that, you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I mean, I looked at it online, but it didn't show the trailers.
Of the 102 trailers,
right?
I mean, how many people are here?
There was probably between 110 and 120 people, I'd say.
And not all of them can move there, right?
No. Yeah, there's only 40 trailers as far as I know downtown there. So it's actually less than half of these. So I feel privileged that I got into one.
Only a few can get in.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So do you know other people what they're doing?
No. Some of them, some people have gone back to the street.
Wow.
So.
Do you have any plan of how you want to get back on your feet, or how?
No. Ideally, I'd like to get back to shooting. You know what I mean? Whether it's film or documentaries or still images. But the whole industry's changed hugely. But I still like to do it, even if it's just personal projects.
So what do you see yourself doing in 3 years from now?
Well, hopefully I'll have a permanent home.
Okay.
All right, and that's about as much as I can plan. Ideally, I would like to go get a film darkroom started and go and shoot film, black and white 4x5.
4x5.
A press camera.
Wow.
And go out and shoot, the landscape, or the urban landscape.
Ansel Adams.
Yeah.
Of the urban concept.
Yeah, exactly, with nice black and white and make it. That would be a fun thing to do.
Okay, great. So, do you have any advice to the people who are watching, and from what you have experienced?
Well, I would say the most important thing is to keep in mind that we can all fall from grace easily if we're not careful. And when my business dried up, I had like $250,000, and I burned through that like nothing. I didn't bankrupt myself, so I left myself open legally, and very hard to come back from that. So my advice is don't take it for granted. Also, attempt to keep your life simple, not too many possessions. I had a house, a 2,100 square foot house, packed full of junk on a half an acre of land, big garage. I had a studio at one time. Then I had this place out here. So I had 3 entities that were sucking money out the wazoo. So simple living might be a good way of going.
All right. I think, I'm thinking about that lately a lot too.
I'm
myself,
afraid everybody has.
I appreciate your advice, and thank you for this interview.
Right. Well, you're welcome.
I hope your life in Griffith Park will be a great one. Maybe I'll come and stop by.
Yeah, come visit. Come visit. Stella will like the thing, and Anyway, well, thank you.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.